Hey everyone, and welcome to day 5. I can't believe we're here. Today we're going to be talking about shadow and what I like to do with those photos captured in low light. And I do love capturing those photos and processing them. And I'll just show you a couple of things that I do. As we've done in the past, the first thing I'm going to do is open it in Pictapgo. This was a photo I took. Could have been very late at night. It might have been in more of the wee hours, like 1 or 2 a.m., but it was the light you see is coming in from the light from the entryway to the building. And this is coming up from doing laundry when I saw this. Um, the obvious thing to do in these situations is something like this. Build up contrast, really bombard the light. And you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a merit to that to that photo and that treatment of it, no question. But for me, it loses that eerie feeling I had, that kind of hidden quality that it had that's there. Right now, it's very flat. Um, Again, low light, capturing the best that it could. The phone's just working as hard as it can to capture it. The first thing I'm going to do is what we've done in the past is I'm just going to convert it to black and white. You don't have to. You can leave it color. Um, the photo you're using. Once I get here, I'm going to go ahead and save out of Pictapgo for now. And I'm going to open the photo in Snapseed. There's a couple things about this photo that I love that aren't, and that I remember in capturing it, that aren't coming through very clearly on the photo that you see. One is the small amount of light, but the intensity that it gave. You'll see the little dots of light that are coming down the stairs. Those are much more intense, and you can see they're almost faded away and they're flat. So the first thing I want to do is bring those back. So I'm going to go to the brush and to the exposure, and I'm going to leave it on +7, and I'm just going to touch those spots where that light is. Okay? I don't want to lose those. I want to really enhance those. So I'm liking that a lot. So I'm going to say OK out of here, and then I'm going to go to the vignette tool. Again, I'm going to protect that spot that I want the light to show, and I don't want the darkness to consume, the shadows to consume, but at the same time, I want to enhance that feeling I had when I saw this scene. So I'm going to darken from the right, about right in there, and I might decrease this vignette a little bit and move it slightly, yeah. And I'm going to hit OK there. Now, you've heard me mention in the past, and this is the thing I combat once I get this where I want it, the vignette, is that circular feeling. Unless it's there for a reason, it looks like someone put a vignette tool down and controlled the darkness or lightness, and that's what I've done. So I want to correct that. So I'm going to go back in like we've done in the past. Exposure, I'm going to lighten it up just a little bit at the top, like that. And I'm liking that. Once I get it to about this spot, I'm going to save out of Snapseed, and I'm going to open it, the new saved one, back up in Pictapgo. It's still a little flat to me. Again, it's that spot intensity of light that I look for. I mean, after all, it is that spot, that little tiny spot that makes this photo. Without that little tiny blip of light, there's no photo. There's nothing there to expose. So I want to enhance that. So again, obvious choice is to do something like that, which can make for a really solid photo. I do love that effect. As I'm looking at it right now, I think maybe just stop right there. But to me, it's a little bit too much. It wasn't like that. It didn't feel like that. There's that kind of idea that right here, I can see the kind of hope. There's kind of an overwhelming sense of, there's that light at the top of the stairs, a safe place, and I love that too. But it's not how it felt. it was a little bit more foreboding. So I'm going to bring it back just a little bit. Okay. Right in there. That's how it felt. Now, if you want to, and I'm going to do it real quickly, once you get it here, and I know it seems like you're doing kind of like a bad haircut, you're taking a little bit off here, a little bit off there, but that's kind of the process. So what I'll do is I'll save it out of here one more time, and if you want to, you can choose to be done right there. Maybe add some tone and be done. But for me, there's like that little bit of added touch. So I'm going to open it back up in Snapseed. And I'm going to open up my brush. And I'm just going to set it to +3. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And I'm just going to lighten up right by the door and down the stairs. And once I get here, I'm liking that a lot. So I'm going to save back out of Snapseed. The main thing I want to encourage about this is keep doing the dance if you need to. Go back and forth until you get it right. And then once I get it here, I'm going to go back and do the things I normally do at the end to give it that kind of creamy feeling that I love. And in this case, that's 100%. And that I'm actually loving that a little bit. Where there's so much more tone to the light areas, but I might bring it back a little bit. So once I get it here, I'm loving this. It's done. I love the fact that the light cutting into this darkness. The one thing you might consider doing in this case, if you've got this situation, what I would consider doing in this photo is, and I rarely do that, but then start playing with the crop at this point, because I'm not sure I'm liking all of the dark to the left of the stairs. So the obvious would be to do something like that. And yeah, I like that a lot better. Although I do love the consuming of the dark in the other one, but there's something seems naturally framed about this that I like. So point is, I know you're working with a different photo, is to be sure and play with all those aspects, whether it's be jumping back and forth between apps or the crop. Feel free to play with those and experiment with those at any given time. I hope that was helpful. Again, I've loved having you guys in this over the last 5 days. If you have any questions, be sure and ask me in the Facebook group, and I'll try to answer the best that I can.